amazing match point. What athleticism.
And there you have it, your APTA national champions.
Best match of the year.
Brilliant shot.
Incredible stuff. And it's sitting up and he's right there.
Hello and welcome to the APTA Tour. We're live from the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois, bringing you the Chicago Charities, a Grand Prix event, which is the fourth stop on the 22-23 APTA Tour, sponsored by the APTA membership, the APTA national sponsors, Paddle Pro and Fusion, and local sponsors, the Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, Fusion, Wintrust, and Viking. I'm Mark Fish, along with Brad Easterbrook, bringing you this final match between Durant Mitchell, Humphreys Koenig. Brad, want to introduce the players and let's talk about the match.
Absolutely. Thanks. Pleasure to be here, Mark. So on the far side, top of your screen, we have Johan Durant switching sides to this side. And his partner in the blue top, Stephen Mitchell. That's our #1 seed. And on the bottom of your screen, on the bottom right, just off the side, is Felipe Koenig in the all-black outfit, and his partner in the white T-shirt, Chris Humphreys, our #6 seeds. We'll take a quick look at the draw, see how these guys got there. Koenig, I mean, really solid. 2 big matches in a row to get to their first Grand Prix final. 6-3, 6-love, back-to-back scores. Matching them. If they could do that on purpose, that's amazing. And I think they take that again. Durant Mitchell had a little, Fraser Morgan gave him something to think about. But inevitably, as Durant and Mitchell do, they got through.
So Bradford, the big question for me in this match is, can Humphreys Koenig win this match from the backcourt, or do they have to have the net ultimately?
Yeah, it's not easy to get the net against Durant Mitchell, the hardest team in the country to get the net against. Humphreys has a very good serve, one of the better ones on the tour, especially into that deuce court. He spins it right in there, but nobody is better at cutting the ball off early than Durant. So we'll see how that battle plays out. I would think he can get the net some, at least on the deuce court, off his serve. He's going to struggle a little more against Mitchell over there, who's going to let it go to his screen, because Humphreys doesn't, he always plays the hard, heavy kick serve. And he doesn't always slide it to the backhand. And once they get a groove, that's going to loom large. And I think Koenig, he hits the underhand serve. He's going to have to stay back some, but he is quick to the net. And his quickness is big. The other thing to look for is Koenig uses his speed all the time in a match. He's always driving, moving forward, and looking for a blitz. But Mitchell and Durant always have somebody right on top of the net looking to volley offensively. So we're going to see how he's going to find those as the match progresses.
Yeah, the big question is, where's the offense coming from? So Johan Durant to serve, Chris Humphreys. You see Durant at the net and the backhand side continuously, always hitting the overheads.
Great dig from Koenig.
The other factor we were talking about before we went on was, have these guys played Durant Mitchell previously?
I don't think they have, Mark. Yeah.
And it's interesting, Brad, to your point. He surprised him with that forehand. Another big forehand from Koenig. One thing's clear, these guys came to win, and they're not cowed by anybody.
Yeah, I've been very impressed, actually, with Humphreys and Koenig. I mean, they've played together a couple of years now, but they're really honing their teamwork. And they're working together finally as a unit now, because last year and the year before, Humphreys played a lot with Nathan LaFair and then Koenig, so they split it up a bit. Now they're really a unit and a team that's playing together, and they've been playing with a lot of poise.
Yeah, I think they each fill a role in the team. Humphreys does a great job kind of backing up Ossis Koenig, so enable him to do the blitzing, quick enough to get around the court, to play balls to get through. And they each kind of know their role. They don't get out of what they do. Ossis Koenig likes to play really short in the court. Take the ball early. Like that.
40.
2 missed volleys from Durant.
It does take a moment sometimes for Durant Mitchell to get going. I've noticed that sometimes they start slow, and then they start finding the range on the cuts, and then it starts speeding up.
As we talked about in the last match, both Humphreys and Ossis Koenig prefer their backhands. So the safe spot is really to the Humphreys forehand.
Yeah, that's the safe spot because Ossis Koenig does not mind hitting the forehand, and he blitzes behind it really well.
Game, Ossis Koenig, Humphreys, they lead the first set, 1-love.
Big shout out to the Short Hills Club, where Chris Humphreys is the director. They're all cheering for him there. At least that's what Kerry Delmonico tells me, which sometimes can be questionable, Brad.
Yeah, I don't hear anything out here in Chicago.
Okay, Humphreys to serve. 1-love. Great start for those guys.
I suspect we're going to see a lot of that. That was a good game for them. They played solid, just with a lot of poise. They took the right ball at the right time. They let them know they were there. They drove every ball that was out in front of them.
Early patience from Durant Mitchell. There's Durant making his way to net. No one plays the way he does. So much fun to watch.
He's just transition and the way he moves in, out, but he also mixes up the power with the finesse better than almost anyone.
Almost anyone?
Love, 30.
These warm days, the overheads are just so hard to control.
I expect to see a lot of transition play, and there's that good Humphrey serve that we're talking about. He spins it hard and heavy into that side wire. You got to stand way off to your right to get it. Not easy to time.
Durant just puts so much pressure on you. His movement of hands.
Surprised he went soft on both of those volleys and not closed in and attacked.
There's an impatient shot, and that's the type of miss you can get from Durant.
30. All.
Just have to withstand the barrage to get there.
Yeah, we haven't seen the barrage yet. He's still working his way into this match. And that's a lot of errors to start.
40. 30.
Maybe a set's worth.
Score is deuce.
Mitchell has struggled with left-handed spin in the past, John. Hughes has given him some problems. Usually less of an issue in the ad court.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I might put that one on the Sun because I don't think Humphreys even put that much on it. But you're right. You know, Hughes gives a lot of people problems with that overhead when he starts cutting it. But that's a great return there. On the ad side, Mitchell should be able to have some success taking that ball early and driving it down. Much more drivable Humphreys serve from the ad.
Interesting. Every time I've seen Humphreys, Koenig switch to the backcourt, they don't look to switch back.
Yeah, Humphreys, the high forehand sort of chip down. He does it. The backhand's still significantly better, but it allows him to sort of move way over into the corner. And he looks for two shots, that backhand there, or if they bounce it down, he can come down over the forehand. That's a great rip there. That's been the one, that shot there, that just sort of the medium one off the deck, that's been more the one he will miss. They're just going to come right back in on that. Ooh.
Ball confirmed.
All right, ball confirmed. Look close from our angle, but not right there. So 2-0, great start for Humphreys Koenig.
Chair umpire Pat Layton. That's a pretty good shot.
Yep. And that's the great ball. You got to lob well. You're going to see a lot of that. You can keep him back to the service line and beyond. You're okay.
Great crowd at the Glenview Club. Beautiful afternoon there. You hear the skeet shooting in the background. Humphreys went behind Durant. Just a great play. Got to keep him honest. He's always moving to the middle of the court.
Yeah, it's a great point, Mark. As the match went on, we saw that a bit in the beginning of the match with Frazier Morgan against him in the semifinal. First two balls, Frazier tried to go away from Durant. He cut him off and hit drop shot winners. And he started learning and went at him or behind him a bunch after that time.
Exchange.
That's just great plan from Durant, sticking his hands out, getting everything back, and Koenig just goes for the body afterwards. Frustration.
Got to be careful. Those are the points Durant loves to play, and nobody plays them better. And I know Koenig is very good at it, but I don't think they want to get into those hand-to-hand exchanges.
Yeah, Koenig goes double tap drive there, and the second one ill advised. So Durant Mitchell on the board. It's time to talk about one of our great sponsors, Paddle Pro. And for over 20 years, Paddle Pro has been recognized as an industry leader in platform tennis. The knowledge, expert advice, vast inventory, and ultimate customer service will help any player find the perfect equipment to take your game to the next level. Paddle Pro is the only website to carry all platform tennis brands. For more information, go to www.paddlepro.com.
Good start to the match for Humphreys Koenig.
Yeah.
How much of it has been their good play and how much has been poor play from Durant? Probably a combination of the two.
Well, what I love about Koenig right now and Humphreys is, like I said, they're playing like a well-oiled machine. They're packing the right balls, not that last one there necessarily by Koenig, and playing discipline, playing together.
Durant with that wingspan just covers so much of the net. Humphreys Koenig, one of the best teams in the country at tracking down balls.
I think that'll become important because we were talking about this a little off air before the match started. And I do think Koenig are going to have to win some points where they just do this. Where, they lob them deep to the service line, 10, 20 balls, and they get Durant and Mitchell to go for more and make an error. Not consistently, but they're going to have to dig out a few points. Let them know that they are not going to be easily put away. And there's a good strike. You got to let them know you're there. That's good.
Do you think Durant's hitting that overhead to bait him into driving it?
I mean, sometimes he does. He loves the close and the anticipation for the drop volley. You just saw it there. But And that is just, he has preternatural ability to hit that shot. He incredible pace at the moment, and it's the perfect moment to hit it. He gets him off balance where the guy thinks the drop shot's going to be in play, and then he hits it hard right at Asa Koenig. Can't even come close to tracking it down.
It's that same swing, the roller and the hard overhead.
Yeah, he can do it all right at the moment of impact. You know, it's such a short, compact motion. He lets up at the end, does a quick flick up to roll it right in there. Then he goes hard.
And again, close.
Oh, look at Asa Koenig. I mean, that's real wheels.
Durant's control of the point just remarkable.
Yeah, you make a great point about his control of the court, but you can also see how he uses a different shot almost whenever he wants. So here he's cutting it short, bringing him in. Then he'll hit push overheads back. Then he's slicing on the outside or hitting the roller. And he goes from 1, 2, 3 whenever he wants. It's just not a good enough ball from Mitchell there. He expected more of a drive. Good shot.
Great action. 15 all.
Oh, good move from Durant, taking balls from under the net and still winning the point. For most people, that's a disadvantaged position.
Got a remarkable ability to speed up the play. 15-30.
That's great overhead from Humphries. Yeah, Durant lost that in the sun. I thought he was going to hit like a slash overhead drive there. Had to get behind him.
I love the move by Humphries there. Just got to give Durant different looks. Constantly changing it up.
Oh, that's a rip.
A great first volley. See Mitchell kind of holding his breath on that one. See there again, trying to get the ball away from Durant. That's exactly where he's got to go behind him.
Yep, and I also just think he's got to hit that ball only when he's moving forward. He's back behind the baseline 3 feet. Don't hit it because it's just too far away from Durant Mitchell anyway. He'll see it, close it off, hit a drop volley. But I agree with you. Got to hit the ball behind Durant.
Like the decision to stay back there. That's great lob.
Yes, great combination. Perfect play. He gets Asa Koenig closing in there, so he goes quickly to the other side as Humphries closes in. Just a perfect control of all the points going on there.
Just amazing how he just always seems to have you on a string, whether he's in the backcourt or at the net. Always feel like he's got control of the point.
Durant and Mitchell even this thing up.
Any question Durant's the best player ever to play the game, Brad?
Not in my mind.
Me either. Such an innovator.
Just keeps them running. Pushes that one long, though. Great scrambling from Ossis Koenig and Humphreys.
15, 30.
I actually love watching Ossis Koenig. He plays with a lot of passion. You know, he's shouting, fist pumping. Ooh.
Oh, Durant didn't see that ball. What? That was an odd play. Good rip from Ossis Koenig. They have a couple points to go back at 3-2.
Oh.
30, 40.
See him hitting all those soft overheads to the Humphreys forehand.
Yeah, that's the ball. That's the safe spot. And Humphrey's doing his role just right. Supposed to back up Ossis Koenig on the right balls, take the spot drive so they get some volleys where Ossis Koenig can come into the middle, attack, and move forward. You won't see Humphreys do a lot of blitzing, but he's doing everything he needs to do to let Ossis Koenig blitz.
Clearly a team that knows their roles. But
That's a
again,
great
Durant
shot.
just constantly maneuvering the court to open everything up.
Hits the cutter that draws him in, closes in. It's the volley behind. Textbook.
Advantage, Ossis Koenig.
Durant alternating on the backhand side between the overhand and the sidearm serves. We talked about Humphreys knowing his role, and I think the exact same thing is true of Stephen Mitchell. Can hit some volleys, gonna bang his forehand a few times. He's gonna let Durant do his thing.
Yeah, it's funny, and either player can do more. They just know what they need to do to be able to win. I mean, you know, Mitchell hit a cut winner underhand that spun right back into the net in the last match. It's not that he can't do it. He absolutely can. It's just better when Durant can do it because he can do it consistently all the time.
Well, Durant's second partner after he won his first nationals with Jerry Albrights was Matt Porter, who was one of the most talented rackets players I've ever seen playing paddle. But he wanted to be the alpha as much as Durant did, and that just never quite fit.
Yeah, it can't work that way.
And that's what a great team is all about, knowing your role. Mitchell's just a great positional volleyer. Knows when to bail, when to get himself out of trouble.
Yeah, when Mitchell volley well, oh, that's a push wide there.
Balance errors they cannot afford to make.
That's the thing when you play Durant Mitchell. Unless Durant Mitchell are donating, and we've seen them go into those moments where they'll even make 3-4 errors in one game, right? And if they're not donating, the margin is so small to try to win points.
Great transition there from Mitchell. And that was a good example. Mitchell hits the overhead from deep in the court. He bails knowing it's going to be dangerous to try and make the volley. Ossis Koenig misses the forehand.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I mean, he saw the opening, so he took it. His eyes got a little big there, but again, he was moving back and away. But great start. And we have, speaking of great, we have also more great sponsors. And another one of our great sponsors is Fusion. And Fusion is a proud partner to the APTA. Fusion curates what's next in branded gear and apparel for your company, your team, or your event. With a team of dedicated industry experts, Fusion curates high-end product selection for customization with your club logo, team name, or corporate identity. They create a stress-free shopping experience with custom online stores and quick custom ordering to get the gear you need now without any hassle. So visit www.gearbyfusion.com and let Fusion provide you with gear to fuel your brand.
So 3 games in a row for Durant Mitchell.
Yeah, do you think Humphreys and Ossis Koenig got a little off script, or they just made, I think they just hit 2 or 3 drives from the wrong spot, and made a couple of errors. They got to just be a little more judicious. And Ossis Koenig actually pulled the trigger on a few of those.
Yeah, we saw a bunch of errors from Durant first couple games, and once he cleans those up, they're hard to beat.
Yeah, that's the trick too, right? Because they're not donating the points anymore. And you lob, and then he starts controlling it with the overhead. So you got to make sure you strike, or you got to lob him high enough and deep enough past the service line so he doesn't have the opportunity to hit the cuts to pull you around the court.
Brizas and Koenig both played tennis at Elon in North Carolina. That's where they met. College teammates.
He does a good job holding his overheads. Ooh. See, there's that quick pace of Durant. I don't think Humphries could volley that if he's ready. He just didn't expect it.
Yep. Oh, around the net.
Around the net, fist pump, and rightfully so. Heck of a shot. He gets it literally like an inch off the ground, and he pushes it an inch off the ground straight back through. Great shot from Humphries. This should go on a highlight reel. That was awesome. It's a great close from Ossis Koenig, but he goes for the offensive volley, and it was there. He just pushes it wide. He actually should have gone for the soft one. Went for the hard one.
Like one of our cameras got knocked askew. A great transition ball from Humphries.
Yeah, you hear Ossis Koenig go, sorry, Hump. He's just missing a few. You know, I mean, I think he's almost, it feels like he's pressing a little. That's what it looks like to me. When I talked about the poise before and his passion, right now it looks like he's just pressing a little.
And Durant has this ability to do that to you where you're just uncomfortable on the court because he puts so much pressure on you all the time, and he amps up the speed of the game. Get a break there in the lead cord.
This would be a great steal if they can somehow come back and get this game, even at 3-all. Great return there from Mitchell. Humphries has a great serve. I'd like to see him develop a slice serve that doesn't kick back in, because he moves guys so far to the right on the ad side, but then when it that they know it's going to go there, but he never slides it behind them. That would be a great dimension for his service game because he's got a tough serve.
Yeah, right now, Humphries, Ossis Koenig are playing way too fast. A lot of swing and misses, and things are getting away from him rapidly. Played 6+ games. We haven't seen him hit one ball behind Durant.
Yeah, and they just got
like that. You have to slow him down.
Yeah, they got to settle down. They got to settle down. That's gonna get cut. Oh, so that was out. Couldn't quite tell. So that shot just long.
Look where Durant's standing. You get any closer to the net?
No, it's perfect. That's what they're doing here. You know, they move through positions so well, these top teams. And Durant Mitchell, look at him. He's all over the net. And he can work it both ways. So now he's back, and he's going to start working on the overhead. Now, his overhead work is more devastating than Mitchell's. But
or anybody else's, for that matter.
Yeah, but they both do an amazing job cutting off volleys at the net. They're looking to swarm it. They're not hanging out. And they hit offensive volleys. When you hit offensive shots, they hit offensive volleys a lot of times. He's going for an offensive volley there. That's just a good ball from Ossis Koenig. Gets out of his zone.
And these are the shots that you have not seen Humphries, Ossis Koenig miss first couple rounds. but it's a testimony to the fact that Durant's making him uncomfortable.
Right. And there it is. You hit that cross-court ball, and he anticipates it. Drop volley. I saw it 6 times in the match before. And it's 5-2 now, and they got to just stop the bleeding here, and they got to find a little rhythm. They should take some time here, talk to each other.
You can't hit that three-quarter pace drive when Durant's on the net. Just
You
absolutely can't do it.
put it in your pocket. You're 100% right. It is just, if you get it by him, it's just a miracle, right? You're just lucky. You know, it's an accident. It's a winner for Durant waiting to happen.
And they've got to start hitting some balls behind him and slowing him down at the net because he's crossing constantly, and they're getting nothing out of return of serve.
Yeah, but Humphries tried to last time. He just hit it long because he got pressured and hitting harder than he wanted to. So Humphries Assis-Koenig promising start up 2-0. Then the donation stopped from Durant Mitchell, and they start just going to work and can definitely feel the pressure. This is good from Humphries Assis-Koenig. Take some time. Even now, talk.
Yeah, this is the conversation
minute.
we wanted to see.
Go get a hot dog. Relax. Take as much time as they'll give you.
Maybe an Italian ice.
Right, get an Italian ice. Whatever you need. It's in Chicago, so what do you need? Italian beef? Is that what it is in Chicago?
15 love.
Yeah, he's going to struggle coming in behind his serve. I think they're going to. Morgan and Frazier in the game before when Morgan was serving, he's a pretty similar underhand type serve. They just went to Morgan hitting an overhead tap serve in the box and staying back. And while it's hard because you're never at the net, it was smart for them because they're in the points. And then they got at least a chance to strike back.
Yeah, you had a rare Durant missed return of serve in the first point, but the last 2 points they've just been overwhelmed and just not a winning strategy hitting this return and coming in behind it.
There he goes, staying back. Smart. Now they got to lob well. That's not good enough. Yeah, see, you got to lob well. If you don't get them behind the service line, that's it.
This is a runaway freight train right now.
They'll be lucky. They'll be happy for the commercial break.
Koenig makes that volley, but that's just not sustainable.
Ooh. Mitchell right there.
They saved one set point. Coming in again.
Humphries with a move. I like it. Put a different play in motion. He goes behind, but it's a high part of the net. Catches it.
There's
Nice. Humphries. Right. He does a really good job staying to the backhand volley. Look at this. Good. They're working a different strategy. Perfect. Now they're falling back into traditional.
Wicked seam, which Durant handles easily. Went for 5-3.
This would be a great hold for them. They use some different strategies. They're getting it through a little.
Great
there
hold.
They go.
Koenig there. And they stop the bleeding for the time being. Durant.
Hey, that was great. Yeah, a couple of set points for Durant Mitchell, and just played some really good points for that moment. And Mitchell missed a couple, but they kind of forced him into it. They changed their strategy, give him a little different looks.
It's amazing how well Durant volleys on that forehand side. Just seems like, he flips the paddle so effortlessly. Anybody else, you'd think that's a good shot to get it to his forehand volley, not with Durant.
Yeah, everything with him has an economy of motion, so it's so efficient. He's quicker than most guys, just flipping it right over there. And he does it from right on top of the net.
He seems to know where you're going to hit the ball before you know where you're going to hit the ball. Just too deep in the court to pull that off.
That's right. Whenever I played Durant, I would try to never know where I was going to hit the ball. So he wouldn't know before I would know. and we would have that little battle back and forth.
I'm sure your
There it
partner
is.
appreciated that. Great get from Humphreys. Another great pickup. Boy, Humphreys,
Yeah.
Koenig doing a great job staying in this point.
Wow, and then he turns it to some offense. This is incredible defense, but again, the three-quarter drive almost killed him again. Good
Yep.
drop volley. Now, Mark, you got the call, Durant Mitchell in the first tournament of the year at Montclair. This looks like a much more practiced team right now.
Yeah, that final was just a strange match. They just didn't seem to have a lot of interest in playing long points. They never tightened things up when it got late in the match when they were in trouble. It just kind of finished up. This is a completely different team as they come to set points 3, 4, and 5.
Ooh.
40-15.
Surprised to see Durant go sidearm there. He's had a lot of success with the overhand serve there. There's that offensive volley you talked about.
And there you see Mitchell, just incredible finish there. He has the shot, and he does it. First set, 6-3 for Durant and Mitchell.
Okay, we'll be right back in a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by CPTC.
From the heart of Chicago up to the North Shore and stretching from the northwest suburbs down to Kankakee. From urgent in-office care to virtual in-home visits, we're making orthopedic care available wherever and however you need it. Because while we're adapting our lives to keep each other safe, we know that new injuries will happen and old injuries will still linger. And IBJI is here to help.
Okay, welcome back. Like we missed the first point of the second set. Second set of this final match. Durant Mitchell, Humphreys, Austin Koenig. Bradford, what do you see? What do you see Humphreys, Austin Koenig do to change things up here?
Well, I think at first just get back on sort of almost get it together. Like I said in the beginning, they've been playing really poised. They just came off 2 matches where they won 6-3, 6-love. And of the teams, they were the more poised teams out here. And here they got a good 2-love lead to start. But again, part of it was a little bit of the Durant and Mitchell donations. And from that moment, they got a little off script. You know, Assis Koenig took some drives at a couple of 3/4 pace drive. Each one of them got drop shotted and cut off by their opponents. They got to be judicious about what drive they're going to hit. And if they're going to lob, they got to keep it deep. Got to get it to the service line at least. And just settle down and say to each other, okay, nope. These are the balls we're looking for. This is the shots we want to play.
Great cut there from Humphreys.
30-15.
Yeah, I thought Assis Koenig really kind of lost his poise the second half of that set.
Yeah, we're talking about playing with passion and a lot of movement, but it was a little overplay and spots from the wrong place, moving backwards away, 3/4 pace drives when really you should just be hitting the lob past the service line. but it's the first major Grand Prix final. Not sure. We still don't know if it's the first time they've played these guys.
I think that it is.
Yeah. So in a lot of cases, it's a learning experience anyway.
In the 15 all point, Humphreys went down the tee against Durant, which I think is a really effective serve. Trying to go back out wide there. And there's the pressure from Durant Mitchell with the return of serve. They just constantly have you on your heels.
Yeah, Mitchell's going to get good looks over there on the ad side. Besides the trickier serve to return, but oh
Just
boy,
a brilliant lob.
and it's
Durant
absolutely
held that ball in
perfect.
his paddle so long. Looked like a Brad Easterbrook seminar and had a lob, the block lob.
Well, thank you, Mark. And I never see you've attended one of my seminars, so
Maybe that's why I struggle so much. But these are the points they can't afford to play Humphreys, us, and Koenig.
again, the 3/4 pace drive down the line. He knows it's going. You got to rip it right at him, or just don't hit it. One or the other.
There's
a great
the great
position.
slide from Mitchell. Yeah, it moved over against the side wire. The forehand volley is gone.
That's smart. Nice. Good play. Great spot drive. That was perfect timing. Durant not on the net. He hits it hard.
And I didn't see Humphreys fault once in the last two matches. But again, that's the pressure serving to Durant. High formation.
Ooh. Mitchell makes that. The turnaround drive, he's usually very successful with it. Missed that one. That's a great ball from Assis Koenig. Nice combination, too. He goes hard roller, pulls Mitchell up, then he cuts it behind him. And he catches Durant sliding out. Ooh, just a few faults now. Uncharacteristic. Generally very reliable serve from Humphreys.
Yeah, serving to Mitchell with Durant standing in the service line can do that to you. Just completely out of sorts on the serve right now.
Yep. If he requests that Durant stay back.
Good lob there from Assis Koenig. Durant was lurking.
See, he hits the soft one to bait him into the drive and then closes right on top. Here comes again.
That's the one they've just got to resist. Durant.
Great lob, though, from Assis Koenig. Great hands.
Oh, what a shot. Oh, you're kidding.
Oh, that is some point, Mark.
Wow. That's awesome. That's all you have to do to win a point, Bradford. Not much more.
That was perfect. And great use of hands by Assis Koenig there. He had a perfect touch volley right back at Durant. That's a smart play. I'll volley that ball.
Don't hit the three-quarter drive here.
That was really well done. You noticed how Humphreys ran and he put his paddle completely flat and an inch off the ground. He slid it right underneath. Beautiful get.
Jerry Vian used to call, when Jared Palmer did that, the shovel shot.
Yeah, essentially he is shoveling it up. That's a great serve there. Big moment. Just got to get this game and get started here in the second set. If they get it, it's all the better because he faulted like 4 times. It would be a really good steal for them.
Durant is now pounding every Humphreys serve. Great job there by Assis Koenig.
Advantage, Humphreys.
Yeah, that's the Durant just taking a flyer on that one. That was a tough play.
Yeah, there.
Oh.
Assis Koenig kind of jumped in front of Humphreys on that ball.
Score is deuce.
A little bit. Misplaced over that though. He stuck that drive. It was right on his forehand. Just hammered it. That was a good shot, and Mitchell did not get over there.
No, that's a long way to travel to hit a forehand. Yeah, that's an unnecessarily risky volley. He makes it, but nothing gained.
All right, big hold for Humphreys. Assis Koenig. It pays off. Tenacious. He's faulted like 4 or 5 times in that game. They get it. That's a great, great hold.
So 1-love, second set. Humphreys, Assis Koenig. Mitchell is not happy with his play at the tail end of that game.
Oh, he definitely missed a couple and made a couple of, I'd say, great decisions. Him trying to run around that ball there. He never quite got there.
So just to introduce our players, Johan Durant in the red, his partner Stephen Mitchell in the black. He's serving to Chris Humphreys in the white shirt, and his partner Philippe Assis Koenig in the black. Wow, that's just a great overhead, although Humphreys got to let that ball through. Too much pace to pick that up off the deck.
Got it. No, it was long. See, he's reaching for that. I'm not sure I don't want him driving that.
And Durant baited him into it. Oh, great blitz there from Assis Koenig.
Getting a few cracks, a few misses on a Mitchell here.
Wow, I thought Assis Koenig was crazy to come forward behind that ball, but he forces the error.
30, all. Oh my God!
Yeah, that's a pretty good description of that shot from Chris Humphreys.
Yeah, he's just trying to put a lob down the line. Pushes it out.
Great lob from Assis Koenig. So much variety from Durant on the overheads.
That's a huge ball from Humphreys there.
Drew Broderick cut overhead.
Now he's getting smart. He's just lobbing. If he doesn't have the advantage, he's no longer pressing it. It's a great play. All right, they're really upping their level here. Humphreys, Ossis, Koenig. Break point here.
Humphreys just doing squats over there in the corner on that low roller Durant keeps throwing in there.
Yeah, he does a great job putting his paddle flat, setting it low, getting down underneath the ball. He does actually an excellent job of it. He holds it a long time, keeps himself moving, balanced, feet underneath him.
Great backhand from Mitchell. And there's that constant pressure where they're back and forth. They're closing the net and they lob you deep, and then you have to the overhead too hard. Ossis Koenig has to let that ball go.
Yeah, he said it to himself. He knew. Problem, he didn't commit to closing in, and he was a little off the net, and for some reason it just affected his decision making there.
And those are the margins that matches points in games and matches are won and lost by.
Oh, sure, it was a game point for them. It was, to get up 2-love. Although actually they were up 2-love in the first set. Maybe they don't want to be at 2-love.
So you think
Change the mojo.
Good point. Durant hit that little chip with the same motion the first set we saw him hit.
Oh, that was a mistake from Mitchell there.
Yep.
He somehow thought Humphreys was moving. He hit a half-pace chip down the line while both of them were moving in. He sets him up for a killer volley.
And Durant had set the whole point up so beautifully.
Yeah, those things happen. He just was thinking the wrong thing at the time.
Good rip there, catches Durant off the net.
That also Koenig notices a big point, so he puts the lob up, goes for a conservative return.
Treat there, great lob volley.
He's getting smart. He's not overplaying the situation. Unless he has an absolute advantage, he's just lobbing the ball back up in the blitz scenario, and great, they get a break up 2-love.
Mitchell's level has really dropped beginning the second set, last couple games.
Yeah, these are your moments. When you play Durant and Mitchell, you have to take them, because they do happen. Look, everybody's out there. It's a human. He's just missed a few balls and made a couple questionable decisions, but it's impossible not to over the course of the 300 decisions you're going to make.
Couple of missed returns from Durant.
30-15.
He looks confused because he's never done that before.
Stunned.
Wow.
40-15. All right, take it. This is what you use right now.
Get from them. Just got to take advantage of them.
Yep.
Great recovery from Ossis Koenig.
Again.
There you go. That's the one we're talking about, behind him. again. Beat him behind him.
Yep. Smart play. They're really doing what they need to do here, and they're trying to capitalize on the errors. They're not giving them the points.
Love the
Not pressing.
Humphreys Oscar Koenig. Durant creeping in there. Here he comes again. That's just brilliant play. I mean, who else can make a shoe-top volley from the service line with the control to keep it low?
Yes, but that's where Humphreys has to hit a lob volley and leave. He volleys it straight back, and he's right there to finish it. That's the scenario when you are somewhat defensive in it. Don't try anything. Just put it up and leave. Good play. I love how Humphreys is getting right on top of the net. He needs to. Oh!
Smart play by Humphreys to get out of there. Oh, that was close. The backhand flip from Durant. He's playing the backhand, he's playing the forehand. He's at the net, he's in the backcourt.
Wow.
Score is deuce.
That was a heck of a point.
I don't know why Mitchell's stopping on that ball.
You saying you want to see him blitz, or?
Yeah, he's at the service line, and he's kind of not playing the ball. There, the spin beats him. I mean,
That's a
Durant did a
great
real
job.
good low return. Oscar Koenig made a great low volley, but if Mitchell had continued forward, he would have cut that ball off easily.
And I think it's just part of the 100 decisions you make. He probably thought it wasn't as good a return as it was.
And there he blitzes brilliantly.
He makes up with a perfect touch volley and then closes it off. And again, when those touch volleys come, you always want to hit the same one back, but he's already on top. Lob volley and get out.
And there Durant goes behind Humphreys, anticipates his movement. And that's all pressure from Durant. That's a ball Chris Humphreys can put in play 100 times out of 100, but when Durant's standing there, he makes you a little twitchy.
Yeah, it just tags him. Humphreys cannot get out of there in time. Just a great play.
But I think the problem starts with Oscar Koenig trying to come in behind the serve. I just don't think that's sustainable.
I think they got to use a few more different strategies from putting in a poach. The one game that they kind of made their little comeback move in that first set when they were down 5-2 was they sent Humphreys one time. Then he stayed back the other time. Then he came in one time later on. It's just got to be, you got to make him play more of a guessing game.
Yep, it can't be the same old. It can't be serve and come in. I formation, staying back, poaching, anything to make them think. Okay, Mitchell to serve. 1-2. That was a tough game for Humphreys Oscar Koenig to lose. How low they are for these balls, almost in lunge position on these overheads.
Yeah.
5 good lobs, 1 bad lob. That doesn't work.
15, love.
There you go. Smart play. Hits behind him.
And there Durant makes a mental mistake.
You know, he wins enough of them that he gets that he's willing to take the risk. I mean, he's clearly on the defensive, but he is frequently in those exchanges, and he still wants to go for them because he wins a percentage of them. A reasonable percentage.
Yeah, I think Coney with 2 questionable drives. Oh, great flip from Humphreys.
Amazing. Perfect. Again, paddle completely flat. He just throws it straight up, lets his momentum carry it.
Well, that ball hits Mitchell as it goes through. Durant screened him.
Durant totally screened him on that. In fact, I think Mitchell 90% thought Durant was hitting it.
Great play from Austin Koenig there.
Great strike. That's so good. He's as good as he is at digging him out. He just keeps him so low.
30 all.
Tough.
That's a great volley from Mitchell.
Ooh.
Rising miss there from Mitchell.
Yeah, I don't love that drive from, he had a good one though, Ossis Koenig, but I don't love it when he's moving back behind the baseline there, but he did catch him that time. Talk about low, that was like a limbo for Humphreys.
Oh, what an overhead. Humphreys
Yeah,
thought
because
about hitting that ball off the deck, then he thought about playing it off one wire.
Oh, he probably, yeah. I
I
mean, at that point it was done, but you know, that's because Durant cuts the one earlier before and he hits a cut winner short. So you got to move up to play the short one, then he cuts it long. Perfect use of the court and of shots previously.
Just punishes you.
Score is 2-all. Second set. Durant Mitchell won the first.
A little out of sorts. Oh, wow. Good dig there.
Catches the nick with the meta positions.
That was a perfect combination right back. And there you see Humphreys basically and Ossis Koenig using the same combination that Durant is. It's just the ability to do it consistently time and time again. And half the time, the problem with Durant and Mitchell is you're spending so much time on the baseline, you just don't get the opportunities. I think they're at the net more than any other team by a pretty wide margin.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just trying to be too fine. But again, it's the pressure Durant's putting on him with the overheads. Scores 2-all.
Yep, 2-all. 15-alls. Called long.
Durant, which part of the net wasn't he playing there, Brad?
Yep.
Didn't have the two alleys. The rest of it was all covered. But again, to our point, behind him, not where he is, not where he's going.
Humphreys tried that, and he got it. And then Ossis Koenig did not try that.
Mitchell misses that volley. Chance to get back in the game here.
That is a great roller.
Back to deuce. Be a huge game for Humphreys Koenig to pull out. Another missed lob by Koenig, and he is
Yeah, just pushed
beside
it long.
Here Durant back on the service line.
Gonna be wide, the duck switch, and great serve there.
He's in. It's okay. Got it. Got it.
Nice. It's great teamwork. See these guys probing, looking for the shot, and Durant and Mitchell just come up with the goods there. It was a good point. A lot of back and forth. They had Durant and Mitchell on the stretch, but 3 games in a row now for Durant and Mitchell. When they don't donate points, everything's so close.
Well, the fascinating thing about that point, Bradford, was I'm not sure Durant hit the ball maybe more than once, and his court positioning was he was everywhere pretty much. Putting so much pressure on them, never contacted the ball. Humphreys ends up missing a shot that he makes 9 times out of 10. But where's Durant?
Right. No, I agree with you. You're absolutely right. It was Mitchell playing most of those balls there, but you could see Durant feinting in, pushing back, moving himself forward, ducking out of the way, and then so the transition up and back, and they did it seamlessly, flawlessly. And Humphreys Koenig find themselves down 3-2. Durant serving.
New ball, switching on the 7s. Everybody getting a feel for it. Warm weather, not really much of an issue.
So far, though, it's almost the exact repeat of that first set. You got up 2-love, a few donations from, Durant Mitchell in the first couple of games, some solid play from Humphreys Koenig, and then they stopped the donations. I wouldn't say that I'm thinking, though, there's any pressing going on here from Humphreys Koenig. Just a couple errors here and there, and they just cleaned up the mess,
A little bit in the lobs.
Maybe, yeah, a few short lobs. Durant definitely finished about 3 or 4 there.
But to your point earlier, maybe they didn't want to go up 2-love.
There you go. It's their own fault.
Durant with a shank overhead and a shank serve.
This is where you capitalize. No, he's out of position there. He should be sliding up and in. He just reaches for the volley. Great opportunity here for Koenig. You gotta lob well. Cannot hit short lobs. See, I love this patient point here. They're lobbing well, ball after ball. They're waiting for their right strike. Gonna take it, and there it is. Great ball. Huge play.
Perfect point. Asa Koenig played a great point, had the exact shot he wanted, and hit it right in the opening.
See, that's a perfectly disciplined point.
Now they just have to do that another 50 times.
Yep, 50 times, and here he's smart. He's gonna stay back on the first one. I love that play. The smarter one. I'm gonna guess he's staying back again. We'll see here. Yeah, smart. This is it. Now play that same point they played the last time, right? Lob well, lob well, lob well. For the right ball. Focus on keeping him off Steve's back there behind the service line. Nothing's gonna happen to you. That is not the right ball, right? Lob that one well. Again. He's ball's lower and behind him. The other ball he hit and the point in the game behind was higher and moving forward into the court. So it's going to be the combination to play the right point, the discipline to hit the right shot, and you just got to execute.
30-15.
Got to keep plugging away ball for ball and keep it close.
30 all.
When such a small percentage of points coming in against Durant, normal formation.
Yeah, I like this formation. I would stick Humphries over even more. The reason why I would stick Humphries over more is because I actually want Mitchell to hit the return down the line. When he's going cross court, he actually has access to the corner and the nick. He got on the point before. I'd throw, you know, I would definitely throw Humphries in the middle some of the time and move him side to side a little bit. But great play there. They made a couple errors, but then huge returns from Durant and Mitchell.
Completely agree with that, Bradford, because the ball that comes straight off the back wire
Yeah,
is a very drivable ball. You can attack that ball and transition to the net again.
It's an easy drive, right? The other drive, you don't know what's going to come. When he hits a cross court and he gets it in the corner, it could easily go into the nick, right? Because he's hitting that way anyway. And he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also not a ball you can be able to attack. He's not going to hit winners on a consistent basis, but a much harder ball to attack and transition on. I would venture to say Humphries has missed more lobs long in these two sets than he did the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, probably.
Just too far to the middle of the court to drive that ball.
30 love.
He just was going for too much. I mean, he tried to hit it outside and make him reach, but he's the one who missed it. Tough.
Okay, so that's one more than he missed before the last one.
Wow. That's amazing. 2 lobs in a row, just trying to put it down the line and in.
Smart bail by Mitchell. Durant just stretches his arm across the whole court.
That's a great shot. Oh, he missed it.
Game. Mitchell, Durant. They lead the second
Boy,
set
last 2 games went really fast.
Way too fast.
Humphries will serve to stay in the match.
All right, the ball goes cross court. They got to shift over and in. He's got to be on the line there. A great pinpoint little shove forehand there from Mitchell. Great control. You got to keep fighting, keep their heads up. It looks like the air is coming out of the balloon here. They look a little deflated.
Miss hit from Durant. It's nice to know that he can do that.
He gives you errors. It's just the amount of winners he hits and his positioning. It's just the pressure he puts on you.
You just don't see him miss hit too many balls.
30 all.
30 all.
Good winner there.
chip and blitz from Humphreys there. Oh,
Durant.
oh, that is some point.
That would be like a good 5-minute workout, chasing Durant's balls down.
40.
I mean, he hits the cutter from underneath the net. They go out and they hit an attacking shot, and it's match point now. Smart lob there from Mitchell. The ball's a little behind him.
There
There
it
it is.
Game, set, match. Durant Mitchell, 6-3, 6-3.
You know, I look at this like a great experience and a great tournament for Humphreys Koenig. In my mind, they have a lot of the tools that are right there to compete with these top teams. It's the first time they've seen them out there. Definitely pressed a little. Hopefully they'll come back, watch this, and just learn a bunch from it. So a great effort from them.
Yeah, when Durant's not donating, he's just tough to beat.
There's no question. I mean, it was a great nationals last year too, and I remember saying after Powers and Hughes beat Durant and Mitchell in the one before, it probably feels like you won the tournament. But now you got to go play the finals, right? Not an easy thing to do. Anytime you get the win, it's rare that you feel like you got the win and controlled the match at the same time.
Yeah, to your point about that match, one of the things, this is a little bit off topic, one of the things I've always felt is that national finals should be a standalone day, because it's so hard to have to come back from what Hughes Powers did. And arguably that happened to him twice. They also had an amazing win over Broderick Palmer in Pittsburgh, and then came back and just weren't the same team in the finals. And it's just a really hard thing to do. We're working on getting an interview with our winners, with Mike Raleigh, while we're getting him in position. Big shout out to Ann Waldron for all her hard work, Jackie Cameron.
Stylish red scarf out there.
So Mike's working on getting them together for the interview.
Well, gentlemen, congratulations. I'm Mike Raleigh with the APTA Network. Fantastic final to the Charities, 50th anniversary Charities. Couple questions. We dealt with just about every weather condition except snow. How did you guys handle the weather yesterday?
Well, hey, it's the same on both sides of the court, right? So we've got to try and find a way to get through it. There's a few things you can do differently depending on the weather, and we try and work on those things. Yeah.
Nice. And Johan, I think I love watching you guys play, and one of the things that we talked about before was, the roles that you play as kind of players on the court, and I love how to watch you guys play. But what adjustments do you have to play against a team like you just met in the finals here?
Yeah, I don't know. You got to play. We both kind of know our roles. We don't really talk about it, I guess. What we do somehow have an idea. But I think you gotta, if you read the game, you know when to move up and when to move back. That's probably the biggest adjustment. But then you play a lot of out balls if you close in a lot again, So I think that's probably a big thing for us if they drive a lot, that we have to close. But if they lob a lot, we'll play differently again. So it's a fine line, though, right? You gotta see it. But sometimes you get it right, sometimes not,
And I loved your nonverbal communication. I find is an amazing thing. And the fans of the game, they want to know what's next for you all. Where are you guys going to play next?
Detroit, right? Yeah. No, Long Meadow, Mass. Yes.
Long Meadow, and then Detroit.
And then Detroit. Yes.
Okay. Well, congratulations, gentlemen. It was great to watch. And we'll turn it back to Mark and Brad in the booth. Thank you.
Bradford, closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts really just staying with, it's really great to see them take, up their level from their first tournament over at Montclair. So Durant Mitchell getting back into peak form. And it's also just terrific to see a brand new team like Humphreys Koenig make their first Grand Prix final and have such great results here. And actually they comported themselves great in that final. It got a little out of hand for them a couple of times, but they're going to learn from it. And they seem like they had great partnership and good work out there.
Okay. And that's a wrap from the Chicago Charities Grand Prix. We'll be back with you next weekend with the Cleveland Masters on the 22-23 APTA Tour. Good afternoon, everybody.
From the heart of Chicago up to the North Shore and stretching from the northwest suburbs down to Kankakee. From urgent in-office care to virtual in-home visits, we're making orthopedic care available wherever and however you need it. Because while we're adapting our lives to keep each other safe, we know that new injuries will happen and old injuries will still linger. And IBJI is here to help.